As the guidance counselor here at Spring Street Elementary School, I try my best to get to know all the students. It's important to me to not only know their names, but to also know who they are and what they might be going through. There are lots of students that are dealing with things most of us can't even imagine. But when we do see someone that has a need, it's a big deal to do something about it. That's why I like to tell all of my students that when you see a need, you should meet a need. Now, if we think of all the needs of every single person around us, it's a little bit overwhelming, right? But there are some things that we can do. Let's say you're in the lunchroom and you see that someone doesn't have enough food. You can give them some of your food and even get your friends to pitch in to give them a good lunch. I know that sometimes it might be hard to give your things to others, but if you have more than you need and someone else doesn't have enough, you should be willing to give. Meeting the needs of others doesn't always have to do with things. It could mean giving your time by helping someone with their homework, or it could be that one of your classmates might be going through a tough time. You can sit down and be a friend who will listen. That might be just exactly what they need. The important thing to know is that when you see a need, you should not ignore it, thinking that someone else will help. When we see a need, it's for a reason. And you should do something about it because who knows? One day you might be the person in need and you'll be glad that someone came along to help you.
One day, a man who knew the law tried to trick Jesus by asking, "What do I have to do to live forever?" Jesus replied, "Love your neighbor as yourself." But the man wanted to show that he did what was right. He responded, "Who is my neighbor?" Then Jesus told him a story. There once was a man who was traveling from Jerusalem to Jericho. As he was walking, there were some robbers that jumped out and attacked him. They took his clothes, beat him up, and left him lying near the road. Soon, a priest came down the road. He saw the hurt man, but he moved to the other side of the road to avoid him. He just kept on walking. Another man came down the road. He saw the hurt man too, but he did the same thing. He moved to the other side of the road and just passed on by. Then, a Samaritan man came walking along the road. He saw the hurt man too and felt sorry for him. The Good Samaritan went over to him, took care of his cuts and bruises, placed him on a donkey, and took him to an inn so he could rest. The Samaritan even took out his own money to pay the innkeeper. "Take care of him," he said. "When I return, I will pay you back for any extra expense you may have." Just like the Samaritan saw the man who was hurt and did something about it, Jesus wants us to see a need and meet a need.